Welcome back to Living Local. The Farm to Table movement is all about providing fresh produce from local farms straight to your kitchen. Well, joining a crop share can be a simple way to get more seasonal, nutritious vegetables into your family meals while also supporting local farmers. Joining us in studio today with more on that topic is Dusty Spurgeon with Spurgeon Veggies. Dusty, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about Spurgeon Veggies itself first. How did you guys get started?
So back in 2007, my mother-in-law had a pretty big just backyard garden that she had been doing for years and years.
Yeah.
But she decided that, you know, they were producing enough that it was a lot more than what their family needed, so she decided to start a small CSA, and I got married to her son a couple of years later, and I was looking for work after I graduated from school, and I just kind of fell into it, and here I am 10 years later.
10 years later, working with your in-laws.
Yeah, it's actually really great. They're wonderful people, and we all get along really well.
Now, you guys have got like a pretty actually large couple plots of land right now where you grow one by Rio and then East Galesburg, correct?
Right, yeah. So my mother-in-law's property is in East Galesburg, and they do around 3 acres out there. Okay. And then just a few years ago, my husband and I purchased another 30 acres up in Rio, or near Rio, where we grow on about 8-ish acres or so. So between the two of us, we're growing up, 10, 11 acres of vegetables.
That's a lot of vegetables. Now, you mentioned that you do a CSA. Tell us, for people who aren't familiar, what that actually means.
Sure. So CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. Right. It's basically a subscription program to the farm. So you sign up in the wintertime when, we don't have a whole lot else going on.
Right.
And then once we start producing vegetables in the spring, like late May, early June, you get a box of veggies every week for about 6 months or so. So it's a really great way to, try out different things. You get a pretty good discount, from just because you're signing up so early. Helps us a lot with cash flow in the winter. So it's a pretty cool little program.
And you get to try vegetables you don't always necessarily would try otherwise, and they're local too.
Exactly.
They're from just down the road or however far away you are. Now, in addition to the CSA part of it, you also operate a stand or a store, technically whatever you would call that. How does that work too?
So I've got a roadside stand on my property in Rio that's open daily during the week. It's, Tuesday through Saturday normally.
Okay.
We've reduced the hours now for the fall just because we're not quite so busy, so it's just Tuesday through Friday. Right. But that's just a regular old roadside stand where you can come out anytime and get whatever vegetables you want. Now,
what kind of vegetables does that all entail? What all do you grow?
Quite a bit. So we grow hundreds and hundreds of different varieties of vegetables. We specialize in doing weird stuff that you can't normally get at like the supermarkets.
Like what?
Well, for example,
yes, we have some stuff here.
I do have some stuff here, yes.
Tell us.
We do a lot of really crazy varieties of like tomatoes and things. So we do like the red tomatoes, but we also do lots of like heirloom tomatoes and things like that. The flavors are all over the place. They're way different than anything you're ever going to taste from like the supermarket. And then it's the same with just about everything else. So like I brought some of the blue potatoes that we do that are blue inside and out. Yeah.
Oh, inside, really?
Yeah. So they're interesting. And then we do like a variety of different squashes and sweet corn and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely, all the good favorites. Now you also do vegetables. You also have hens and chickens that you take eggs from too, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so on the East Galesburg property, my mother-in-law's got a big pasture out there. So we do free-range hens that produce, a variety of different colored eggs for us. There again, they're not just white. We have brown and like olive-colored ones too, so they're really interesting.
Olive-colored eggs.
Yeah,
that I haven't seen before. That is interesting. Now you also you're trying to farm sustainably as possible, right? Too.
Sure.
When I read off your website, you're trying to use as few inputs and things as possible when you're doing this.
Yeah, so we're not certified organic or anything like that, but we do try to use as many organic practices as we can, as we reasonably can. So we minimize the insecticides and herbicides that we use. We utilize a lot of our own manure from the animals that we have, to go back into the soil. We compost everything that we can't sell, so that ends up going back into the land too.
Right.
So we do what we can to, maintain the land as in an environmentally friendly way as possible.
As responsible as you can
Sure.
be. Dusty, tell me, since you married into the family business,
Yeah.
I mean, what is the most rewarding part in working in something like this?
Well, so when I got started, my mother-in-law and I were she was kind of running things, and then it just kind of shifted over to me running things for one reason or another. But probably the best part about this for me is just being my own boss. I get to be really creative. I get to foster a really fun work environment for my employees, and then we get to feed people really high quality, excellent food.
It sounds like a great time, and obviously, yeah, a great product too. Dusty Spurgeon, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
If you would like more information about Spurgeon Veggies, they've got a website. It's right there, spurgeonveggies.com. We'll also have those details posted on our website too. That's ourquadcities.com.